Good day, everyone. So, welcome to our week 12 of our Seamanship 3 Non Dangerous Goods. So, for our topic for today, we have the cargo handling safety. So, as we all know, cargo handling should be visibly inspected before we we load or unload any type of cargo on board. So we have the safe working load. So this safe working load, it is a assembled gear and be marked on our boom. No, on our previous discussion, yung boom, meron siya nakalagay na safe working load and also on the block level, no, of the crane or any other lifting material, lifting equipment rather. So also we have on the derrick. So in these letters or figures, we in constructing the background in which each height constructed on the SWL load is being geared and approved to lift. Kasi based on the SWL or the safe working load, dito natin malalaman if the cargo we are going to load is capable ba ng equipment natin, ng crane or ng derrick or ng boom. No? So baka mamaya mas mabigat pa siya sa boom natin or sa derrick, no? Or sa crane. So dapat yung mga bubuhatin natin is based upon the limit of the safe working load. So again, all wire chains, ropes, or shackles, swivels, no, it is being used on the runner of the safe working load. So ayan lang naman yung capable magbuhat ng or ilagay doon sa ating crane, no. Any other than the material of like a Manila rope, yung mga synthetic ropes natin, hindi siya pwedeng gamitin sa ating mga derrick or boom or crane. So ginagamitan natin siya ng ropes, chains, hooks, or links or shackles or swivel. So sa mga equipment natin, hindi tayo pwedeng gumamit ng mga synthetic ropes. No? So again, with regards to this, nagiging marupok din yung ating mga chain, no? Or any type of the lifting equipment and kailangan natin siya ng maintenance. So, kapag maintenance, pag metal ang pinag-uusapan, so lubrication ang kailangan. So, with this, every gear should be inspected by the captain and it is presented by the chief officer. So, tandaan nyo, si captain yung overall in command, pero si chief officer yung pinaka nag-inspect ng mga equipment on board. Then, ha-hand over nyo yun kay captain, then si captain yung magde-decide. No? So, in any event of not less than in operating a month, a certificate of each parties must be available. So, yung mga ginagamit nating mga equipment, it is under the certificate, and if the certificate is already expired, ibig sabihin, yung equipment na ginagamit natin ay hindi na siya pwedeng gamitin. Kailangan na nating i-renew. So, sa renewal na yon ng certificate, nakalagay doon na if it is being replaced or being maintained, no? So, kung i-replace or i-maintain, mas matagal yung lifespan ng replaced. So, yung iba, hindi na nagme-maintain, for example, na-maintain siya, no? Pero hindi na siya gagamitin ulit. Kaya yung makikita nyo sa mga malapit sa port, like yung Olongapo City, kung mapupunta kayo dito sa lugar sa Kabalan, sa may Kalapati, yung mga gamit doon, it is not being used na sa barko, so iba binebenta na siya as a second hand na gamit. No? Mas mababa yung price, pero pwede pa siyang gamitin. Pero on board kasi, meron tayong ginagamit na approve lang ng protocol and yung certificate na yon is dapat updated. So, na-replace na, hindi na siya pwedeng gamitin ulit, kaya binebenta na siya dito sa lupa. Pero, once it is being offloaded sa ship, hindi dapat magbebenta yung crew member or yung captain. Kasi, ang rules dito, disposing na. Hindi siya dapat binebenta. Dinidispose na siya. So again, under na 'yon sa customs, no? Baka yung customs siyempre, sila yung magre-receive ng, or magtatanggap ng disposal, then si custom puwede niyang harangin or puwede niyang ibenta na 'yon, 'no? So depende na sa usap ng countries 'yon. So yung mga ganyan, labas na yung barko. Hindi siya dapat binebenta ng tao sa barko or ng captain or any other, officers on board. So, sa ating mechanically on hydraulically, 'pag sinabing hydraulic, it is kusa na siyang bumubukas and it is powered by the, remote control. No, mechanically, hindi siya nire-remote but it is being using by the mechanics, no, mano-mano. Pero gagamitin natin ng tools. Pero kapag hydraulic, no, meron siyang remote control and na-uplift niya. So, when it is being open or closed, ship's crew under the supervision of the responsible person. Yung responsible person na tinutukoy dito is the chief officer, no? Yung mga equipment natin on board, it is being under the supervision of the chief officer. Pero kapag ang pinag-uusapan is on the engine department, it is chief engineer. And again, the highest decision is on the captain. Now, hatch covers should be secured by the locking devices to prevent moving accidentally. No? So, dapat naka-secured siya accidentally kasi ito yung pwedeng mangyari na sabi nga natin, no? Pwede siyang mag mawala in place, so dapat naka-secured siya. Kasi again, yung vessel natin ay nasa dagat, no? So pwede mag-rolling, mag-shifting of cargo. So dapat always secured para maiwasan yung accident. So beams and covers of partially opened hatches should be secured to prevent accidental displacement. Hatch opening should be secured fence and minimum of 1 meter in height. So dapat daw kapag magbubukas tayo ng mga hatch covers or any beams open hatches, no, dapat meron tayong mga harang. And yung harang na yon dapat at least minimum of 1 meter in height. Baka mamaya maglalagay tayo ng harang is nasa paa lang. Hindi rin siya mapapansin ng mga crew member na dadaan. Kasi baka mamaya naggagamit ng crane o may crane operation tapos nagsesenyas yung bosun tapos hindi niya napansin na meron palang butas, no? So, sasabihin, "Sir, ang laki-laki, hindi mapapansin." Nangyayari yan on board. Lalong-lalo na kapag yung attention ng isang nagha-hand signal is nandun sa nagko-control ng crane. Tapos, tendency, umuusog din siya. Hindi niya napapansin na palapit na siya ng palapit doon sa opening. So, opening na tinatawag natin dyan yung mga hatch covers na nakabukas, no? Yung mga beams. So, tendency, when you are signaling on the person who is operating the crane, sometimes yung nag-ooperate is ABs and nag-hand signal is yung bosun, hindi niya napapansin na nakabukas na yung meron nakabukas na openings or malapit na siya sa opening, pwedeng magkaroon ng aksidente, malaglag siya. So kaya kailangan lagyan natin siya ng fence and together with the ropes, no, na dapat daw is yung fence or nakapalibot na ropes doon sa fence is at least 1 meter in height, no, para kahit na nagsesenya siya, hindi siya directly it is serve as a warning bago pa siya malaglag doon sa sa opening na yon. So, again, ship's responsibility to cover the hatches and notice for the completion of work, it is given by the stevedore in charge. No? Kung sino man yung naka-in charge doon sa operation or sa trabaho na ginagawa doon sa openings na yon. And no person should use a ladder in square of hatch while cargo is being hoisted or lowered in the square. So, wala daw gagamit ng ladder, no? And also, no person should stand or pass under the suspended load. Kasi merong instances na pwedeng bumagsak yung load. Kunyari mo, nililift na siya ng crane, tapos yung tao nandito sa ilalim ng nililift na crane, bawal yon. So, bawal ding dumaan. Sir, dadaan lang saglit. Kahit sabihin natin mabilis ka lang maglakad or tatakbo ka, bawal din. No? It is under the rule na kapag mayroong gumagamit ng crane, bawal dumaan sa ilalim. Syempre, hindi nyo naman alam kung kailan darating yung disgrasya. So, dapat aware kayo na bawal dumaan sa ilalim or bawal mag-stay dun sa ilalim ng sa load na binubuhat ng isang crane or ng isang derrick. So, adequate lighting for the working spaces, portable with lights, precaution with dangerous cargo. So, dapat meron tayong sufficient light para makita na baka mamaya meron ngang railings, tapos 1 meter in height, pero madilim naman, hindi rin mapapansin. No? Kahit sabihin natin naramdaman, sir, hindi ko napansin na opening pala yun. No? And portable lights should be removed from the cargo spaces as soon as they are no longer required. Kasi baka mamaya portable lights na ginagamit nyo, matapakan nyo pa. No? Maging sanhi pa yun or maging cause pa yun ng pagkadulas nyo. And also, unattended portable lights are potential for the fire hazards. Pwede siya mag-explode kasi again, ang portable lights natin is powered by batteries. So again, yung batteries na yon, no, pwede siya maging source of fire. And cargo handling safety during the loading and unloading operation, it is the plan and agreed by the terminal or the port captain and the captain on board, no, and must be conformed the cargo operation as soon as there are no excessive stresses on the hull associated with this structure. So si captain, i-laid out niya yung vessel structure dito sa port captain. Then, bago mag-commence yung loading and unloading operation, both captains on the port and on the vessel must agree with the plan. No, kasi kung hindi sila mag-a-agree sa plan, hindi itutuloy yung loading and unloading operation. So, dapat both parties agreed with the plan and also the safety measures to eliminate any structural damage on board, on the vessel itself, and they should have the effective communication between the terminal and the ship, no? Dapat yung constant yung communication kasi again, parang ano lang yan pagdating sa nararamdaman ng isang tao, no? Hindi mo alam nasasaktan ka na pala, pero siya okay pa. No? Paano kayo magko-communicate kung hindi mo paano kanya malalaman na nasasaktan ka pala kung hindi mo sasabihin sa kanya? Di ba? So, again, mahalaga na dapat malaman niya kung ano yung nararamdaman mo. Kasi kung hindi kasi tayo pare-pareho ng nararamdaman minsan. So, ganun din sa port tsaka sa vessel. Hindi sila pareho na nararamdaman. Bakit? Kasi yung port captain, hindi naman ayun yung hinahawakan niyang operation Hindi naman niya hinahawakan yung operation ng vessel mo. Hinahawakan niya yung operation ng terminal, ng port. So, ayun yung pinaka-trabaho niya. So, ikaw ngayon na captain, dapat i-relay mo kung ano yung nare-receive ng vessel mo. So, dapat constant communication para magkakaroon kayo ng mutual understanding kung bakit ganun yung loading, kung bakit nagkakaroon ng aberya, para alam nyo pareho or alam ng both parties. Maliwanag? So, next. So, tapos na tayo sa cargo handling and safety. Dito naman tayo sa entering enclosed or contaminated spaces. So, pagdating dito sa entering enclosed spaces, papasok ulit dyan yung safety. Bakit? Meron tayong potentially hazard in every spaces na pumapasok tayo. Pag sinabing enclosed, ibig sabihin sarado. No? Yung yung entrance tsaka exit nyo ay isang route lang. Isa lang yung daan. So, potentially dangerous including the cargo spaces, no? Kung saan natin nilalagay yung cargos. Cargo fuel and ballast tank, no? Kung saan natin nilalagay yung fuel, ballast tanks, no? Yung sa water, pump rooms, coffer dams, on the keels, peak tanks, and double bottom tanks. So, ayan yung mga kinoconsider natin na enclosed spaces. So, every time na magpapasok tayo sa isang enclosed space, kailangan natin ng work permit. So, work permit should be completed for each and every enclosed space entry. Hindi pwede yung pupunta ka sa coffer dam. Meron kayong permit. Tapos pupunta kayo sa ballast tank. Ibang permit dapat yon. Bakit? Kasi magkaiba kayo ng enclosed spaces na pupuntahan. Sir, iisa lang yung tao. Kahit na iisa lang yung tao, dapat iba pa rin yung permit na ilalagay mo. Dapat indicated doon kung saan kang enclosed spaces pumunta, anong oras, no? Then, ano yung oxygen level content. No? Mamaya, i-discuss natin. So, again, it is both being checked and record. All necessary measures have been properly carried out in place and intended to enclose space entry. So, completing with the form, responsible person should be allocated in the time period in which the permit is valid and should never be exceeded in 24 hours. So, for instance, no, gumagawa ng permit diyan or nagsasign ng permit diyan si chief officer. Then, magsisignature din dyan yung mga person na papasok. It's either bosun, ABs, or OS. Then, approve or undersigned under supervision of the chief officer and also the captain. So, ngayon, gumawa si chief officer ng permit ngayong araw. Tapos, papasok kayo kinabukasan pa. Pwede yon, but not exceeded in 24 hours. Pero kung gumawa siya ngayon tapos papasok kayo 2 days pa, bawal yon. Dapat it must be not exceeded in 24 hours. Bakit? Kasi syempre, i-check nyo pa yung oxygen level content kung safe ba siyang pasukin, kung na-check ba bago pa na-check pa yung content ng hindi lang ng oxygen, no, yung hydrogen content, kung safe ba para sa taong pumasok, no. So again, 24 hours i-check yan prior to entering the enclosed space. So dapat yung permit din is at least in 24 hours magamit nyo. So, in work permit, risk assessment must be carried out bago kayo pumasok ng isang enclosed space. Dapat meron kayong risk assessment. So, sa risk na yon, i-identify nyo ano yung risk, ano yung mga aksidente or pwedeng mangyari na magiging hindi maganda, no? So, in permit to work system, there should be always a specified duration of work, kung anong oras kayo papasok, anong oras dapat matatapos, no? And it is not valid for the following day, yung katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, and also the specific duration for work that particular day are not valid for the following day. So again, kung sa permit to work system nakalagay yung date na gantong araw, gantong oras matatapos. Hindi pwede mag-exceed. Once it is being exceeded on the time being spent, gagawa ulit ng panibagong permit to work si chief officer or chief engineer. No? Kung sino man yung under the supervision of that enclosed space entry. So, sir, lumagpas po ng 5 minutes or 3 minutes, no? So, again, gagawa ulit kayo ng panibagong permit. Kaya kadalasan dyan, si chief officer nagmamadaling matapos. Kasi hassle pa yon sa entering ng enclosed space. Kasi papapirma pa niya yung kay captain, papa-approve niya pa. Si captain, papa-approve niya pa yon. So, if it is really safe to enter on the enclosed space. So, in entering enclosed space, authorization of entry, no person should open or enter enclosed space unless authorized by the master, sabi ko nga, or the responsible persons appropriate for the safety procedures like the chief officer and also a particular ship have been followed. So, the master is the responsible or the chief officer determine the safe to enter in a enclosed space. Paano ba ma-determine? The potential hazard must be identified, assessment as far as possible, and thoroughly ventilated. No, kaya sabi mo nga, before 24 hours pasukin, dapat naka-ventilate siya. Kasi if bubuksan nyo rin on the spot, no, meron pa rin yung content na pwedeng masuffocate yung isang crew member na papasok. no? And it must be ventilated through natural and mechanical means to remove the toxic or flammable gases to ensure that the adequate level of oxygen throughout the space para hindi ma-suffocate or para hindi magkaroon ng intoxication of chemicals ang isang crew member na papasok sa isang enclosed space. So the atmosphere must be tested appropriate to the calibrated instrument, no, the oxygen level. Also, the secured entry must be properly illuminated, suitable for the communication between parties has been agreed and tested. No? By the way, yung ating walkie-talkies must be in a fully charged and operated and being inspect and check before entry. No? Para constant yung communication and dapat merong maiiwan outside the enclosed space para mag-check time to time sa mga taong nasa loob ng enclosed space. And attendant has been instructed to remain at the entrance, no? Nandiyan dapat sa labas. Hindi siya kasi siya yung papasok. So, iba pa yung papasok sa loob ng enclosed space entry at iba pa yung standby person sa labas ng enclosed space entry. So, that in case of emergency, no, there's a rescue and resuscitation equipment has been positioned ready to entrance on this closed space. So, bago kayo pumasok ng enclosed space, dapat naka-ready siya outside the enclosed space, no, yung mga resuscitation natin para kung magkakaroon emergency, hindi nahahanapin pa, hindi na kailangan pumunta pa sa loob ng accommodation kasi pwede na mag-agaw buhay yung taong i-revive nyo, no? Baka mamaya namatay na dahil kakahanap or kukuhanin nyo pa sa loob. Dapat naka-ready siya outside the enclosed space. And also, the personnel must be properly clothed, no? Yung ating personal protective equipment, personal protective wear. No? Meron din tayong mask dito, no? Yung self-breathing apparatus, no? And has been authorized by the captain to entry. So, for the oxygen level content must be 21% above, no? And not lower than or not more than 1% or of lower limit, no? So in flammable limit must be on a suitably sensitive, no? Meron din pan-check tayo ng flammability inside the enclosed space, no? Meron tayong gas detector dito. So marami nakadikit sa iyo, no? Gas detector, self-breathing apparatus, yung cylinder nasa likod nyo just in case na kailangan nyo ng air, no? Where the preliminary assessment has been determined, there is a potential for the flammable gases or vapor, mag-a-alarm yung inyong gas indicator. Kapag nag-alarm yon, it is not safe to proceed pa, dapat lumabas na kayo, no, ng isang enclosed space. Sir, paano po pag hindi pa kami tapos mag-check? Mas mahalaga yung safety. Hindi mahalaga matapos nyo i-check, mas mahalaga yung safety ng person going inside the enclosed space. So the TLB for the chemical substances concentration in air, typically for the inhalation or skin exposure, there are units in parts per million gases cubic centimeter, particularly on the between ppm and the molecular weight. So kaya iba nagkakaroon ng skin diseases or nagkakaroon ng toxic inhalation. Kaya hindi totoo yung sinasabi na nagkakaroon ng tanker effect. No, sir, mas delikado daw po sa tanker. Hindi, bakit tanker lang ba yung merong mga enclosed spaces? Hindi lang tanker nagkakaroon ng enclosed spaces. Lahat ng barko merong enclosed space. Nagkataon lang na yung tanker ay mas maraming enclosed spaces. And nagkataon lang na yung tanker ay mas toxic yung enclosed spaces kasi we are carrying gas and oil, no? Siyempre, mas toxic siya. Pero hindi lang tanker yung merong mga toxic pagdating sa enclosed spaces, no? Dahil hindi lang tanker ang mayroong enclosed space. So, time weighted in average, no, the threshold limit bulk for the TLV, no, short-term exposure limits, spot exposure duration of 15 minutes. No, dito nyo makikita yung 3 types of TLBs for the chemical substances are being identified. No, meron din tayong threshold limit valve for the sealing limit of TLVC, absolute exposure limit not exceeded at any time. So, with the precaution during entry, atmosphere should be tested frequently. Whilst with the space is occupied with the person should be instructed to leave the space, there be a deterioration in the conditions. So, kapag napansin ng person standby outside this enclosed space na yung oxygen level ay bumababa, dapat magbigay na siya ng warning or magbigay na siya ng signal na dapat lumabas na yung mga person inside the tank, no? Na dapat mag-evacuate na at baka maubusan pa sila ng oxygen or masuffocate pa sila. Precautionary during the entry, also ventilation should be continued during the period of the space is occupied. During the temporary breaks, before re-entry, after a break, there should be a retested in the event of failure of the ventilation system. So, kung papasok kayo, no, ng entry and, sir, kailangan po muna mag-break kasi masyado na kami matagal sa tank. Pwede o yun. No, lalabas ulit kayo, then magbe-break kayo ng 10 to 15 minutes. So, para maka-breathe kayo ng fresh air. Then, kung babalik kayo, dapat hindi kayo babalik directly. I-check nyo ulit yung oxygen level content if it is safe to enter again the enclosed space. Sir, ilang minuto lang naman kami lumabas. Hindi pwede. I-check nyo pa rin ulit siya. Para sure. So, in the event of emergency, no, if there is no other circumstances, should the attending crew enter the space before help is arrived, evacuated to ensure the safety of those entering space to undertake rescue operation. So, dapat hindi lang isa ang standby dun sa labas ng enclosed space. Baka mamaya hindi niya kayanin magbigay ng help, bubuhatin, no? Hindi ganun kadaling magbuhat ng isang tao galing sa ilalim ng tangke. So, meron man kayong lifting equipment na naka-standby, yung tripod na naka-standby dun sa labas ng enclosed space, may bigat pa rin yung tao, buhatin pa angat. No? So, dapat merong at least 2 to 3 persons standby outside the enclosed spaces. So, entering enclosed spaces in protective clothing, equipment upon entry into the space, atmosphere is a enclosed space is expected for the known to be safe, should be entered in no practical alternative exists. Entry should only be made for the further testing, essential operations, safety of life, or safety of the ship. The number of the person entering should be minimum compatible with the work to be performed. So, dapat yung tatrabahuin sa loob ng entry space is kakayanin ng person na i-delegate nyo inside the tank. So, breathing apparatus, just for example, no, self-contained breathing apparatus always be worn, and only personnel trained is allowed to use or to enter on the enclosed space. So, air purifying respirator should not be used as they are not provided to supply clean air or source of the independent atmosphere within the space. So, that is the topic for our week 12 of our Seamanship 3. And we have a exercises or quiz later on. No? So you must review this presentation because I will be giving a exercises or quiz later. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for your listening.